this evening. I think we got the one bug worked out. We're going to give a couple minutes for people to get signed in and watch. Hey everyone, Shon here from Longspur headquarters in the Fox Den here in beautiful Buchanan, West Virginia, and I just want to welcome everyone for tuning in tonight to Longspur's Beyond the Hollow. We got a great show going on for you this evening. First of all, I want to mention our sponsor, GoMart. They've been great to us here at Longspur. They're a West Virginia company, two West Virginia companies partnering to do great things, and we are proud to be with GoMart. We got out this week and got to do some traveling. We stopped in Belington, West Virginia, and right there you go. There's Belington, West Virginia. That's their new GoMart over there. It's pretty nice. I love those new gas pumps. That is all digital. It's pretty good stuff. But we had a good time over there, and that's what you do when you go to GoMart. You have a good time. Go for good times. Go for GoMart. Coming up on this evening's show, we're going to kick it off with Nathan Bentley and Caleb Bennett. They are a couple young men. Nathan's from over in the Kaiser area. Caleb right now is currently in Marietta. And they ended up a couple weeks ago over here in the Buchanan area helping out with some flood recovery efforts. And they had an interesting trip down into some of my old stomping grounds. And we just wanted to chat with them real quick. And then not long after that, we're going to jump into the main show here with Dallas Fuhrman from Nighthawk Drone Services and John Hockaday from Bloodline Trackers of Longspur. And we're just going to have a good old-fashioned roundtable talk here. So before we get that, I just want to talk real quick here for a minute. Last week, we drove to Farmington, West Virginia. That's up near Fairmont for the quarterly DNR commission meeting. And credit where it's due, our District 5 commissioner asked about coyotes after two constituents brought up the issue. Right now, you can only hunt them in the fields outside small game season and not in the woods, not year round, and that's an archaic rule, and he's willing, to take a look at that at the next commission meeting. That's what we want to see, that interaction, more of that out of these commissioners. If you're a follower of Longspur, you know we've been hard on these appointments. But I've got a question about the District 4 commissioner. I have serious doubts she's ever held a full West Virginia sportsman's licensing package. Somebody fed her a question about Alabama bass during that meeting, and I'll be honest, I don't know that she could tell you the difference between a smallmouth and a largemouth if her life depended on it. In District 1, he leans hard on the bird hunter label, which is fine, but does that mean wild birds or pen raised? He fly fishes too. Is that wild trout water or put and take fishery where you pay top dollar to catch some stocked fish? His one real concern on the record was herbicide use as a management tool. And that's a slap in the face to every on-the-ground manager, in this state using herbicide, mulching, and prescribed fire to actually get management work done. And before I go further, District 6, Janet Hamrick Hodge had to step down from that seat as she fights cancer. And our thoughts and prayers are with her family and her. And there's nothing political about that. This is just a hard thing for her and her family, and we hate that. But this leaves two seats open, District 3 and District 6, on top of seats already filled with people we're not convinced represent working sportsmen here in West Virginia. And we reached out to Governor Morrissey's transition team before he even took office. We told him straight up, you've got an outside attorney from New Jersey sitting in the governor's chair. And if you want credibility with sportsmen, you better put real sportsmen on this commission. Instead, it looks a lot like the same old political game. Write a big enough check to the right people and a seat opens up for you. And once again, we end the year without a single in-person commission meeting. They see remotes get more views. And that's pretty much a load of horse crap. A view is somebody half watching a live stream doing dishes and not a sportsman standing in a room asking a follow up question. So here's what we want: fill District 3 and 6 with some real sportsmen and give District 1 and District 4 commissioners the same soft landing the governor gave the former District 3 commissioner. And Governor Morrissey, you've been given every opportunity to work for West Virginia sportsmen. West Virginia sportsmen are still waiting. That's it for today. Get out there, take part in the commission meetings, and we will keep going. So we're going to get into the show here. I'm going to come on over and bring Nathan on and Caleb Bennett. Give me just a second. There you are. You guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Caleb, I
Yes,
lost your
sir.
video there. There we go.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nathan and Caleb. Nathan, you're from the Kaiser area, West Virginia, am I correct?
Yes, sir. Born and
Caleb,
raised.
you're over in Marietta. Is that where you're originally from? Are you originally from Kaiser? What's the story there?
So, I'm originally born and raised in Marietta, Ohio. I met Nathan through social media. We're both content creators who both are avid outdoorsmen.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. You'll have to get me your all's links to your
Definitely.
content. We'll share them out there. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah. So, 2 weeks ago, about 13 days ago, we had 7.7 inches of rain here in Buchanan, and we took a hit here at Longspur headquarters, but our house sits on a hill. We had some minor basement flooding, and that was it. And then after that night, when you could see Turkey Run here looking like a river instead of a small creek, we knew some people were in trouble. What do you guys saw this information hitting the news,
I saw it
and what were your
beforehand.
thoughts there, Nathan?
I was watching the storms kind of develop as they were on radar because I know they were calling for the threat of tornadoes and stuff in our area here. We had after y'all watched the storms go through Caleb's area. I was on the call with him. They had some flooding in his own town, even in I watched the damage occurring in Buchanan, and I'm friends with a boy named Hunter Rohr from out there that I fish with a good bit. He comes out to my way and we fish together. And I've been seeing his dad's post and all the destruction the next morning. And me and Caleb were supposed to go out and do something for my birthday that weekend out of state. Saturday was actually my birthday, and instead, um, I didn't call him that morning. I got some other people together here, and I got Save a Lot here to donate me 2,500 pounds of water, and we drove it down and dropped off to the Buchanan Fire Department. We took in some stuff. I told Caleb that evening I didn't feel comfortable leaving. Went out of our state, and all these
Yeah.
people needed help back home, and we kind of changed our plans. And we got another buddy involved named Chris Simmons, and he's here from Elk Garden, locally in West Virginia, in Mineral
Okay.
County, and me and Caleb went out that way and helped what we could.
That's awesome. I know the day 2 days after, when the water finally started receding, 2 days after the rain, Chrissy and I got out and we accessed the Stone Coal area, which is my stomping ground. That's where I grew up. That's where I learned to hunt. That's where I learned to fish. I wanted to get down in there. Number one, we were told our drone might be needed to search, unfortunately, for the couple that lost their lives. And while we were down in there, we received that information, but we went with a specific mission. I didn't take any supplies. And we had people asking for water, and luckily we ran into a DOH crew that helped us out, and we shuttled some water back up and in. But when we posted that, I know Caleb reached out to me, I believe on Facebook. Did you not? Messenger, Caleb?
yes, sir. So I had seen Longspur's tracking post about the families that are possibly in need of supplies and immediate things in the Stone Coal area, and I immediately reached out to you to figure out where this family was at, and you had sent some coordinates to me, and I, along with my buddy Nathan and Chris, we jumped on it and we developed the plan, quickly try to gather up some supplies as far as non-perishable food items and especially fresh water. And then we
Right.
set on our ways, and we actually got to the Buchanan side of Stone Coal where the um, National Guard and the Department of Highways still had Stone Coal completely unaccessible by vehicle. So I immediately jumped on my maps, being having the coordinates, found a way around that, and we actually obtained entry to the Stone Coal area and the families that were in need through the small town of Abbott.
Yeah. And while you were in Abbott, you hooked up with Dan Sullivan and the Mountain Mission Mules.
Yep, Mike.
And I know Dan's watching because he just said, "Hey, I know those guys." And that's
Hey, Dan.
exciting.
What's up,
And
Dan?
so you all, they took the mules down with supplies, and you all walked down with chainsaws. Now, the day before, when we had been there, that road was still shifting around some with some slips. The trees were still pretty bad. What was the condition you found when you all got down in there?
Caleb, you can go first, and then I'll go, buddy.
So upon the initial arrival, we did notice that there was still a lot of slippage on the road. There was some trees laying down, but we were able to get around them. I know that there was a private company working alongside one of the local Upshur sheriff's officers. I believe that they are a privately owned oil and gas company that leases that area. They had actually took a dozer down the hill from the Abbott side and started clearing the roadway and making sure that that was level in case we needed to get emergency personnel down there because we all know that West Virginia is definitely a beautiful country, but it's very dense, and a lot of these places aren't accessible except for by foot.
Yeah, and that I try to explain to people that we call it the Stone Cold Canyon, and when you get down in there, you figure out why. It
Yeah.
is a narrow canyon, and that water came down there with some velocity, and it really changed a lot of people's lives. So, so you went down in with the mules, you came back out, and we're going to have a whole nother story. I think Sullivan's gonna come on here in a few weeks, and we're gonna talk about the Mountain Mission Mules. But have you all done this kind of volunteering before?
So, um, I I've been organizing some fundraisers and stuff this year after I started my fishing content up. It got
Yes.
pretty successful. I had some sponsorships and stuff, and we uh, we just been trying to give back. Me and Caleb's actually been preparing to do a major fundraiser with WVU Medicine with WVU Golisano's Children's. So
Oh,
we've been
that's
hiking
awesome.
for that. We're going to be walking 307 miles from Morgantown to Niagara Falls, starting on the 15th of August to raise money for the Cure Kids Cancer Fund there at the hospital. So we've been
Right.
hiking, prepping our bodies for that, so we knew we could make the hike in to take supplies, so that's where we went.
Well, that's really awesome, and that's one of the things I like to say. Being outdoor content creators, we and I talk for that because right here we are. We're creating outdoor content. We get lots of opportunities. I mean, by no means makes you rich, but it makes you rich in what you do. And
100%.
I just want to say thank you to you guys for coming over and helping our people, which is your people too. We're all West Virginians, but coming over here and helping out here in the Buchanan, Upshur County area. I'm sure there's a lot of grateful people, and hopefully they'll see this either live tonight or on a broadcast soon. But we do appreciate you guys coming on. Y'all want to tell us about your social medias here real quick, and we'll hopefully get some people watching it. And like I said, you can message me that here later, and I'll get it up on some
I share
posts.
fishing videos multiple times a week, and some pretty good fish. I mean, I've
Is
probably
it
caught
just under your name, Nathan Bentley, or?
there on Facebook. I've caught at least 10 fish over 6 7 pounds. My biggest one this year, that's trout. My biggest one this year is 10.42 in West Virginia,
Wow,
and there's
wow,
probably multiple. I mean, like over 20. That's five on there.
that's nice. Caleb, what do you focus on your social media?
So mainly on my social media, I focus on spreading awareness for mental health, and that was actually one of the reasons why I got into fishing. I've been fishing my whole life, and I've always been an avid outdoorsman, but I've really been trying to work myself through my own personal battles while spreading awareness. And I found that content creating and social media is definitely a powerful tool. And like I said initially, that it helped make me, you know, gather and gain the friendship with Nathan. And I believe that together we're a great team and we can do a lot. And like you mentioned, on August 15th, we've got that Fishing for a Cure fundraiser for WVU Golisano's Children's Hospital. Um, I mainly started giving back and really working on trying to help others last year, during the flooding in Hill Country down in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually doing SAR missions and helping with things of that nature. So that's really what sparked the change in me, and that's what has caused me to really want to give back and just it's really caused an emotional break on me in a good way, because when I see these families and I deliver, these things that they need, I give them a sense of hope.
We had a
And
woman
that's
named
what
Yeah, I mean, it you give these people an absolute sense of hope when they're there and they're like, how am I even just going to get bottled water? You know, something everybody takes for granted. I mean, probably within 3 feet here myself, I've got a bunch of bottled water, but when you're not planning for the worst and the worst happens, um, it
we
leaves a
ran
lot
into
of
a mom
questions.
who had no water left actually when we got to her. Her name was Lane. She had a daughter
Wow.
named Journey and a son named Maverick. I still remember their names. And they had
Yeah.
nothing to drink when we got there.
Yeah. Well, guys, I appreciate you all jumping on tonight and introducing yourselves to Longspur Nation here. And we're for sure going to check out your content. And next time I see
Yes,
Hunter
sir.
Roar here fishing in the pond, I'll tell him I run into his buddy Nathan.
Yes,
Caleb,
sir.
we appreciate you coming on from the great town of Marietta.
Of course, it was an honor for you to have us, Sean.
Oh, yes, it was. I guarantee you that. I
We
appreciate it.
appreciate you guys very much.
Okay, guys, I appreciate you. That's Nathan Bentley and Caleb Bennett. I just wanted to say real quick, those two guys, what an honor to have them on. I appreciate it. Hey, if you're on, speaking of content creation, Longspur tracking YouTube this weekend, check out our newest episode. We're Appalachian frog gigging. That's old JC Bug on there. She's doing some frog gigging with her buddy Brett, and then she was trying to tell us about the Abaguchi. And if you haven't heard about the Abaguchi, we'll have to do a whole show on that, some cryptid work. But we're going to get into the second half of our show. We're going to bring our other two guests on. Wow, that actually worked kind of smooth right there. Usually something happens so quickly. We got you. I got John Hockaday and Dallas Fuhrman on. How are you doing this evening, guys?
Doing good.
Doing real good.
Good. Yeah, appreciate y'all hanging out while we talked a little bit of local stuff here. I mean, yeah, it was West Virginia news, but near and dear to my heart. I think last year you had some flooding up near your area, didn't you, John? Just over in Maryland, across the river.
Yeah, it happens a lot more than people know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, these mountains are beautiful, but
Yeah.
they don't hold 7 to 10 inches of rain. In a
Right.
short amount of time.
Yeah.
Let me introduce.
Gratefully, we didn't have too much human loss. That the mountain
Yeah.
folk head to the hills and get out of harm's
yeah.
way.
Exactly. Let me introduce you guys. I think on the bottom of the screen there, if I'm seeing this right, that's Dallas Fuhrman. And Dallas is with Nighthawk Drone Services. There you go, up on the screen there. And you're out of Gettysburg, PA?
Yep, right around there.
Okay. And you do a lot of pet recoveries. You also do wounded game recovery and just all around work with your drone.
Oh yeah, no, a lot of pet recovery stuff is all year round, and then deer recovery. Of course, deer season it gets crazy, like everybody knows. But yeah, enjoy it, and it's an honor to be here.
Okay. And then I have my good buddy, my right-hand man here at Longspur, John Hockaday, and he has Bloodline trackers in Longspur, and you're located over in the Fort Ashby area, West Virginia, which, for those of you who don't
Yeah,
know,
that's
is kind
right.
of just kind of south of Cumberland, Maryland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But
can be in Western Pennsylvania in 20 minutes, Cumberland in 13.
there you go. And, we decided to have you guys on this evening. Now, I just for clarification, we try to have people in network and out of network, and we say that means Longspur trackers and drone pilots and non-Longspur trackers and drone pilots. And Dallas is a non-affiliated with us, but a good friend that has a lot of insight into this business, a lot of insight into hunting. One of the things we talked about while we were off the air is, how far tracking and drone recovery, wounded game recovery, has come over the years, and some of the racing to the bottom, as we call it, that we see going on. We see in Ohio, and we'll be talking with Walt Allen and Jared McKinney next week about Ohio, but how competitive it is, and people are just cutthroating drone and dog. They're down, just absolutely downing each other on social media. Prices being lowered. I mean, we're seeing dog guys advertising free and drone guys advertising, $25 to $50 just to get out and get the job. And we've seen that kind of creep east a little bit. We see that in our area of Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, well, all of Maryland, and a little bit of that Northern Virginia. And I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I mean, I know we teach and preach here at Longspur that both dogs and drones can complement each other and need to make it a positive experience. I'll let one of you guys jump in there and tell me what you're thinking.
Go for it,
Absolutely.
John.
Well, I guess the topic was the race to the bottom. I don't really think I participate in that. That's all. In other words, if there is a race to the bottom, I've worked hard enough and established myself in such a positive light in my hunting community that I don't have to worry about that race to the bottom. There's not a single person out of the 400 people that I've recovered an animal for or impressed in the forest that is concerned about whether somebody's tracking for free or not. They have me on speed dial. They know what I bring to them. Right. I bring availability. I bring a vehicle that's running in the morning. I bring the top-notch equipment. I bring a top dog. I bring physical prowess. I bring determination. I've been a professional in many other things my whole life. And right. To do those jobs, infantry, class 1 railroading, you're required to be prepared, or any of those industries will eat you alive. I come as a professional by nature. That's how I work. Okay. Right. And because I handle myself that way, I have gotten the attention of some of the best woodsmen in the tri-state area. They trust me, and I'm where I want to be. So track for free if you want. I encourage you to track for free. Just like me and Dallas were talking about earlier, and I'm going to let him have it after this one, but people pay for professionalism.
Yes, they do. 100%.
Oh, yours, Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk about it in the drone world. I'm not in the dog world as much as you guys are, but the drone world about price and what you should charge and how much you should charge for mileage. And I'm honestly pretty tired of it. Like, yeah. We got to get back to, it's all about the hunter. Well, it's all about the animal and doing what is right by the hunters. And we are serving the hunting community. The hunters care a lot about their game. They're already feeling bad. Number one, that They made a bad shot or they hit a limb or who knows what all it could be. That the last thing they want to have to worry about is price shopping. So a lot of times when a person's calling me, they're not calling me price shopping. They're calling me because they want the job done right. And they don't care. They would care that you care about them. You've already done your homework. You've done your training. You've done your practice. You've done the mapping. You have the woodsman skills. You know how to read animal you know how to read animals, you know how they react to shots, you know, shot angles, and that's where you get when you hire a professional. And that's what they come for me. I've very rarely have got people that balk at a price, and there's people that I don't charge at all because it's not all about money. Like if you got a junior hunter or somebody, every situation is different. Like it's about making sure that you recover the animal and do what it takes to serve the hunting community, and that's what we're about here. I think John feels the same way, and about being professionals and doing the right
Exactly.
thing.
Well, this is one of the
I
things.
would also like to add, we have to kind of sort of go back and get to how we've gotten to this conversation.
Yeah.
How do we get to a conversation socially on social, no matter where it's happening, where the question is who's charging what and why? Well,
Right.
how you get there is just this. When we first came onto the scene, we were the new kids. We were different. That was years ago. That's changed. When we first came onto the scene, we were bashed because we didn't have talent. We were running call dogs. We were new to the game, so they thought, but we had been running dogs years before that. But without us having the ability to track openly before it was legal and pow all that proof there, we were new to the game too, to the rest of the world, and that's fine. So we start out there, but where what they thought they were dealing with isn't what they were. They were dealing with seasoned trackers. So the respect wasn't offered. We were beat up and tore down online because we were a bunch of dumb hillbillies. Okay, let's just say it. That's fine. Okay, it happens to us everywhere we go. We're used to it. We're Appalachians. All right, we talk funny. You know, so we were beat up openly. And then what'd we do? We started taking pictures and we stacked them on the tailgates and we proved we were good. So the only other thing left to attack now is the fact that we charged. So that's the only reason we're having this free conversation now. So let's just bury that. I don't care if you charged nothing. Go do it. That's not an issue to me anymore. So we can move past that on John's side
Right. And
forever.
I do want to add in that we did invite a Pennsylvania tracker on that does track for free, and he declined to come
Yep.
on and talk. Um,
Well,
we
let's
just
talk
want
about that too. We
we
talked
just
about as well with Dallas. The
hmm
idea of I charge for free, but I expect money.
yeah,
If you're a free tracker, don't take any money. Do what you say you're going to do.
yeah,
Otherwise, you're just masquerading as a free tracker when you're not. In
right,
fact, you know, and that happens way, way, way too much, especially since you firmly suggest you stand on the other side of the fence. Most of you don't. Most of you don't. Most of you expect paid when you perform that service. That's a fact. It's been proven. And matter of fact, most of us are charging and just playing Switzerland
right,
and just hanging out in the middle. That's okay too. And that's fine.
right,
I don't have that luxury because I am in a position, I'm a face. I have a lot of respect from men within an organization, and I will fight for them.
hmm well, yeah, I mean, I look at it from just a positive aspect. I play it by ear every time I talk to a hunter. I mean, I listen to them. And I also have what I call my BS meter helping me listen. That's Chrissy. And she'll just, quietly whisper over to me, hey, I can hear it in their voice. They don't have money. And I don't leave deer in the woods. I mean, that's just bottom line. We may do this as part of our living, but we won't leave a deer in the woods. Now, can I drive 3 or 4 hours to come track your deer for free? I can't do that, but I'm going to find you help. I'm going to find you somebody that can. And I think that should be the camaraderie that is shown throughout the tracking and drone world is let's get deer recovered. This is about the hunter. And even in some of our and hey, I own a drone. I fly a drone. And sometimes I have to look at things from a business point of view, but I don't have to be so cold that I have to say, oh, I got to pay this drone off this year. I can't do any free jobs, So bottom line is this just serve the hunter. I mean, that's the bottom line. I'm not beholden to any other tracker, drone pilots. I do my own thing, but I'm also respectful of everybody else. And I don't think we say much until we're disrespected. So there we go.
Pretty much. So that's what brought that whole. That's what brings free tracker versus pro tracker to the front. Is the conversations from earlier. We were brought down. Then we took social media and you can't argue with the pictures. The pictures are the proof. So we proved we were really, really good at what we did. There was one less area left to attack us, and that was our greed.
Yeah.
All while those trackers are also taking money for tracks. So that's behind us now. We know that's a false theater.
Well, and we can take that right into the commercialization of hunting. I mean, that's just a you know, and I want to just touch on this, you know, hunting, and you and I had this talk before, John. Hunting's been very commercialized since man picked up a spear and chucked it at a mammoth. You know,
Yeah.
you know, you didn't have gold, you didn't have paper currency, you didn't have that. You had, okay, here's a haunch of whitetail, what can I trade this for? You know, that was currency. Therefore, that's commercialization. I see it come at us from the tracking world so much. Well, you all are just trying to commercialize hunting and tracking. No, it's always been that way. I see it on the hunter side too. You know, so many hunters want to harken back to the good old day when there was no commercialization, but that's just never been. I mean, I look back, I mean, Fred Bear was in every hunting magazine in the 50s and 60s trying to sell bows. And we revere Fred Bear. I mean, we do as bow hunters. But he commercialized hunting. I mean, it's just part of the sport. It's part of the game. What do you think on that, Dallas?
Yeah, I mean it's been an evolution from way back to now. Some things are positive, some things are just negative. I mean, I just like being in the woods and not dealing with all the politics. I tell you what.
That's right.
And the more you can get in the woods and enjoy nature, and stay off. I mean, this is a double-edged sword, but you got social media. The more you can stay off of social media, or not be sold to social media where it affects your thought process, and just enjoy the outdoors and get children in the outdoors and teach them the ways of being a woodsman, like the boots on the ground, teach them everything versus watching social media and only doing what's cool and paying attention to what's the latest trend or the latest series right now.
Right.
That's just kind of my opinion on it. I don't know. I mean, yes, there's always been some sort of commercialization, but I think we got to take a step back and look at the big picture.
Right. Well, yeah, why do we get in the woods? I mean, when I step into the woods, my number one thing, whether I'm hunting or I'm with a dog, is to have some fun. I mean, or with the drone, I need to add that in there. You know, I'm there to have some fun. I try to have fun with the people I'm with, whether I'm hunting or doing recovery. Sometimes it's hard to have that fun on the recovery side because, you know, like you said, you got guys that are just sick that they've wounded this game animal and they think the world has ended.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But if you can just get them to loosen up and have fun, number one, it makes it better when you find that animal. It's amazing. And the same thing goes on the other, you know, on hunting. You know, if you just loosen up and have some fun. A few years ago here when we started Longspur, man, I have to admit, we were taking a beating on social media, and I was paying a lot of attention to it. Not only on the dog tracking side, but on the hunting side. You know, there's this big move in West Virginia for bigger bucks, and we got to do quality deer management and all that. And I believe in that stuff. But I let it take some of the fun away from hunting. To the point here I was telling Chrissy and JC what they could and couldn't shoot instead of just remembering, hey, these are new. You know, Chrissy's just really started hunting. JC, you know, is an 11-year-old. Why am I controlling what they're pulling the trigger on? You know, to please people on social media. I didn't want, you know, my significant other and JC be seen with a small deer. That was going to hurt my ego. And I had to take, just completely step back and and say, it doesn't matter what other people say. We're just going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to keep showing what we're doing, and we're going to be happy doing it, and hopefully spread some joy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's hard to imagine how we got to a place where the wounded game tracker is supposed to be the only person in the industry that's not paid. I'll be honest with you, and I could be wrong. I just know what I do. The amount of training, the amount of time, which is a lot, that I have to spend at 50 years old to keep myself in physical shape to do that is 4 to 5 times a week.
Right.
I'm only getting to the money, the boots, the garment, all that stuff, but hard working. We work hard to do this at the level we do it, and we
Yes.
have to invest in it. I don't understand how we can get to a place where the bow hunter himself is allowed and celebrated for commercializing hunting. The bow hunter is. But the man who goes and finds his deer after he hit it, he's supposed to do that for free.
Right.
Make it make sense, and I'll listen. That's all.
Yeah. Well, one of the
Yeah.
things I want to say is we did, on the dog side, we did kind of change. It's kind of a revolution. And it is a business to a point. It is our business. This is what we do full time here. But there's so much history in this tracking, and that people wanted it to be a closed society, and it just isn't anymore. We kind of kicked that door down and saying this is the way we do things, and we're good at it, and we're going to have fun doing it, and you can come along for the ride, and we're going to work with you no matter what we do. So, drone.
Yeah, like I'm going to work with Mr. Dallas Fuhrman and Nighthawk this year.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
That right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome. We got some cool things coming. That's for sure. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, I can't wait to get
Yeah.
you two teamed up over there in that mid Maryland, Western Maryland area, Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia, and just watch the fireworks.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
We're ready, man.
That's awesome. Maryland season's
Yeah.
not that far away.
Yeah, beginning of September.
Not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming right up.
Yeah, we've got a great team and on it. That's a dynamic duo drone dog team. I'm right here with them. I've worked with Tyler Hirschman as a drone dog team. Jeff Muser's down there. He's participating with Longspur, and he's come to our show in Harrisburg last year. Met Jeff. I'm ready to work with Jeff when Jeff needs some help. And me and Dallas, we're going to hit it hard together. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah. And then, don't forget about John and Steph Davis over there. They're going to have their own dog drone team right out of the same household once Steph gets that 107 passed. So they're right there in the market.
We're going to have some teams, man.
You're not kidding. If we can just get that power company to get out of John Davis's way, he could be a force over there with those VDDs, and then Steph flying
Yeah.
the 4TD. There I just threw out a bunch of numbers and abbreviations, but let's just say they could be a really good dog and drone team. One of the things I wanted to bring up, all of us here are bow hunters. But Dallas, your background's been heavily in in archery, has it not?
Yeah, I've been shooting bow since shortly after I could walk. Yeah, I worked at Lancaster Archery for years, and background in tournament archery, shot tournaments all over the U.S. I mean, here, there, and everywhere, anywhere from Vegas to, you name it, I've been all over the place. Been blessed to travel and shoot with some of the best in the world. And I've learned a lot of lessons that are invaluable. I mean, I've shot with world champions. I'm not a world champion. We'll put it like that. I can shoot, but I'm not a world champion. But I've learned and been sat at the feet of some phenomenal shots and some of the most humble people you ever meet, and translate a lot of those lessons into the hunting world. So you have target archery, and then you have 3D and a bunch of different aspects of it. But all of it translates to hunting, and there's so many lessons I've learned that translate to being a good drone pilot. Number one, woodsmanship and learning how the bow and the animal and shot angles and arrow geometry and setups. I mean, there's so many ways that we could go down so many rabbit holes of how setups and FOC and the whole gambit affects penetration. It affects lethality, broadhead design, good broadheads. I mean, there's so many things that affect the performance of a bow. But a lot of it comes down to, I mean, you can have the best equipment in the world, and I talk to the best archers in the world about this. You can have the best equipment, but you take that world champion, he can go to Walmart and pick up a $200 bow, and he's probably gonna beat the tar out of you. It's how much time you put into your craft. It's kind of like tracking. It's kind of like being a drone pilot, learning the drone, learning the dog, knowing that relationship with the dog. You got to be a one with the bow or the gun or whatever you're using, and put time in. And I was talking to this about John earlier that the problem is with social media, the double-edged sword that it is, and the commercialization and whatever else you want to call it, people aren't getting as many trips in the red zone. They're
No.
waiting, holding out for this big buck, and they're not shooting a deer for a couple years. And
Yeah.
they're not getting practice on does. I asked them if they're shooting does. No, I don't shoot does. I was like, so how do you know if this giant buck is in front of you, you're going to be ready? Now, I do a bunch of elk hunting. It's like people that wait for 20 years for these tags. They'll put points in and wait, and they say, oh, I'm just going to wait till I get this perfect tag or whatever. Well, you haven't done to the over-the-counter units and put all this hard work in and boots on the ground learning elk hunting. And once you get that 20-point unit, you don't know what to do. It's just like being behind the bow. You got to put the reps in. You got to do the doe management so that you're ready and you know your bow inside and out when that shot comes.
Yes. And that is a great point, and that is a point I bring up at a lot of seminars that I do, is if you want to be an effective deer hunter, and I had this talk with Richard Mann, the shooting editor of Field and Stream, and he put this in one of his articles. To be a good deer hunter, you need to kill deer. If you're not willing to
100%.
kill deer, you're never going to be a good deer hunter. You can go out there and practice and sit in the tree year after year waiting on that target buck that has the fancy name, which, you know, hey, I name a deer here and there, and I do have some target bucks, but you got to pull the trigger. I am a deer killing fool when it comes time. Legally, they're legal, but hey, the state of West Virginia gives me several doe tags, 3 here in my county, of which 2 I can fill in one day. And I will pull that trigger twice. I'm not afraid to do that. And you learn deer when you kill deer. So, and I always appreciated getting speeches from young guys that are really good, putting themselves in situations to kill one buck and have 4 or 5 on the wall. You know, really trying to tell me about deer, and I asked them the same thing. How many deer have you killed just to get to where you're at? And it just surprises me how many of these YouTube guys and TV personalities, you know, are just on the handfuls of deer. That's it, because they wait so long. And I don't know. What do you see out there, John?
I got rain. It's almost. Is it messing up the sound? The rain.
You just got a little lag in your video, but you're doing good otherwise.
Okay. If you asked me a question, I didn't hear it though.
Okay. I was just asking, what's your experiences with today's modern bow hunter out there?
Well, Dallas's perspective is 100% accurate. That
Right.
is very true. And not only are they not taking shots, they're all not tracking because they're not hitting deer they need to track. So their skills in that manner are depleted as well. I know that sounds crazy, but we know that matters.
Right.
And that's why you have people who have developed into wounded game recovery specialists beyond just being a hunter. When you do it 120 times a year, you become an absolute expert at the final stage of the hunt. And
Yes.
there's nobody out there that's going to equal that that's not doing what you're doing 120 times a year. You can't replace the experience. It's irreplaceable.
Right. Dallas, that was something you brought up pretty good there. You know, being an outdoorsman, that translates to drone pilots. I mean, they need to be outdoorsmen. This isn't, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are some young people that can pick it up and go with it, just buying a drone and throwing the magnets on the car and going and being deer recovery. We may have lost John there with his rainstorm, but what do you see out there, Dallas?
Oh, I mean, being a woodsman and an outdoorsman is, I mean, that is so important when it comes to the drone world. So when you get a call, you got to be able to know animal behavior. You got to be able to know how to run your drone, number one, but you got to know where the animal's most likely to go. You got to be able to have all the mapping software ready to go, whether it's Spartan Forge, you have 3D, you have LiDAR, you have the water layers. You can turn that on into 3D. You know how to read topo maps. And you got to have the background of all the tracks that we've been on, or the flights, whatever you want to call it, of where the deer typically go. Yes, there's anomalies, but there's general rules. And you got to know how to ask the right questions to that hunter. All right, if you've hunted this property, where do the deer typically go? What do they typically do? And take all that, and all that's just data logging. Yes. And you can find deer so much quicker based on all this history that you've banked over the years. And it's invaluable. If I didn't know how to read topo maps and know this all, I don't even know. It'd be a lot longer learning curve for sure.
It's an amazing thing to be with somebody like Walt Allen over in Ohio that's recovered so many deer that he can look at Spartan Forge or a topo map and almost pinpoint where this deer is going to be found based on the description and the interview with the hunter. I've seen him do it. It's pretty amazing. But it comes with experience of doing this, experience of being an outdoorsman. I mean, deer are creatures of habit, and that includes when they are dying. They have habits.
Depending on where you hit them. The shot, exactly. I mean, where that shot is a huge player.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, John, do wounded deer ever go uphill? Do I got you?
I don't see him there.
Let me go. May have lost him again. Let me see here. We're going to try one thing here real quick, John.
There he is.
You got me, John?
I got you.
Hey, do wounded deer ever go uphill?
You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
They absolutely do. If they're happy places uphill, yes. Wounded deer go uphill often. Yes.
That's just some of those old wives' tales. I love getting together with hunters and other trackers and talking. You know, you will see on social media so often. I just laugh about the different Facebook groups, and you get on there and say, "Hey, I hit a deer. What do I need to do?" And how many experts there are out there. Well, my grandpappy said a wounded deer would never go uphill, so downhill and look in the creek. And
yeah, I think a lot of folks are starting to get past a lot of that stuff. Wounded game tracking's been beneficial to our hunting community for sure. And they're learning with us. They just learn a little slower if they're only getting it once in a while. But they're definitely learning a whole lot about wounded game tracking.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Some of my proudest moments during the season is listening to a hunter's interview, and he'll send me a coordinates of where his stand is, where he last saw the deer, talk to me. I talk him through the shot, and then I tell him, you may not really need me this, just give this overnight, go out and look at this area, put coordinates on, and they go out and find the deer the next morning. That's almost as big of a thrill to me as, seeing Jesse coming up on a deer or seeing that glow on the screen that we got. It is actually talking a sportsman through on the phone, and then they get back to you and they're like, how did you know that? How did you know that? And then explain to him. Yeah, explain to him what I saw. What triggered.
Dallas was talking to me earlier about the benefits of being a consultant and how much he enjoyed that part as much as he did is when he was hired to go to the field. Yeah.
Oh my! I mean, the amount of
So
calls
he's
that
a
I actually
wounded
go
game
out on
consultant.
versus
Yeah.
yeah, the amount of calls that I actually go out on versus the amount of calls that I take and just people ask my opinion on shots, it's probably double the amount that I don't go out on that I just coach people. I'd be like, hey, this is what you should do. This is the situation. They tell me the whole situation, and the majority of the time,
Right.
at least half the time, I don't even go out,
Right.
which is rewarding to see. Like, hey, you just
Yeah.
help educate somebody, and that's what it's all about. They'll send you a picture, and it's just like you were right there with them.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, it's amazing. Um, and there a couple of years ago, we started keeping that phone recovery numbers, and of course, it just gets to be so much a record keeping. But it was amazing at the end of the year. Uh, coming into Longspur, I think we helped over 100 people find deer without charging them a dime. So, I
That's
mean,
cool.
yeah, we didn't even have to go out there. But that's just an awesome part of it. Uh, any Dallas, anything you think hunters should really tune in on right now, leading up into this last month to 6 weeks before a lot of archery seasons come in?
Oh my! Well, I made a post about it the other day, but dude, right now is when you got to be. People think about they're setting trail cameras, getting everything ready out in the woods, but you got to be thinking. Not many people think about the recovery part of it and building
Right.
that relationship with the tracker that you could got a first name basis that you can call them. They're going to answer. Just like if somebody needs a dog, they call John. They're going to have that relationship. They're not calling asking him, "Do you do deer recovery?" They need to have that already set and prepared so they can say, "Hey, John, I need you here now," and know he's going to answer the phone and he's going to show up as soon as he possibly can, and build that relationship and dive into these dog tracker social medias, learn about their dogs, ask them the questions. It's all
Yeah.
about having the relationship. You can't tell me you're going to want to be in the woods and you made a bad shot and you're going to want to call somebody that you don't know and be like, hey, do you do this? No, you want to call somebody you can say, hey, on the first name, like, can you help
Exactly.
me? And I mean, I've had relationships that I've built through this, and the guys call me and they're like, we already did this one time. This is the situation. What do you think? And you develop so many friends, and John and you, I mean, all these trackers have built these relationships, and that's what it's about, a working relationship where
Right.
you can help somebody when they need it the most. And that's what it's all about.
I've uh, I've got to experience that firsthand. We do have a lot of good friends out here in the tracking world, or the hunting world, I should say. That hey, anymore they call us no matter what.
Hmm.
Most of the time, it's from tree stand now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I hit this deer. What do you think?
Yep.
And we have that relationship. May not talk to them much during the season. They may reach out right before the season and say, hey, I'm still following you. I see you're still into it. I'm hoping I have you on speed dial. I'm hoping I don't need you. And I tell them the same thing. I'm always there to bounce anything off of. And some even of them even bounce hunting questions, setups, stuff like that off of us because they've seen us in the woods and they know we're outdoorsmen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's the huge thing too, as far as setups. I mean, people sometimes they let their bow till the last. I mean, you got to be
Yeah.
looking. If the archery season's coming up, so I mean, you got to be looking at your strings. You got to be doing research on good, solid broadheads. I mean,
Right.
a good, solid broadhead, whether it's a mechanical, whether it's a fixed blade, I don't care what, but it has to be mechanically sound. And you
Yes.
got to shoot your broadheads. I mean, for crying out loud, the amount of people that don't shoot their broadheads, I mean, it drives me nuts. You have to shoot them, you have to tune them, and you have to make sure they're hitting where you're aiming. And I can't stress that enough. And we're working in the archery shop for years. That's the biggest thing. They buy a pack of broadheads and they think it's going to shoot like a field tip. Well, that's not the case. And then the bad shots happen and whatnot. So check your equipment, take it to a local bow shop, and just get them to go over your bow, top to bottom, and make sure everything's ready to go. And then put the time behind it
Yeah.
and make sure you're ready.
100%. John, you're a bow hunter too. When you get time, right?
Yeah. I'm a
Yeah.
tracker, so bow hunting suffers. Yes.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Yeah.
let's let our audience, John, I just want you to fill our audience in. How many states did you track last year? How many total tracks did you take?
Last year, I tracked 4 states. I did not track Ohio last year. I tracked Ohio both years prior to that. So, in the matter of 2 seasons, and probably within 12 months, I tracked 5 states. Um,
Right.
Virginia, I tracked a couple times. I got a bear out of Virginia. Also went down and tracked with my friend Greg Griffith. Um, and he was able to spend some time in the woods with me. That's important to me when I've got trackers around that are asking for a little help or even want to come along with me while I run tracks. That's basically my method of training when I have apprentices. So I don't think I have an apprentice that works under my mentorship that has not spent quality time in the field with me while I was actively tracking client animals, which is basically mandatory if you're going to be my apprentice. You're coming to the field with me. Some of them 2 and 3 times. Justin Baxter, Ty George, Griff, even Tyler Hirschman, drone operators. I spent time in the field with them guys. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think that's a big difference between Longspur and a bunch of other just drone lists or dog lists. Is like you just mentioned, John. You're a master tracker in that area, and you have the responsibility of having some drones on your team, and some people that had never done it before,
Yeah.
but now they're very very versed in it, and you got to hang out with them and even mentor drone pilots.
Yeah, and mentor the drone pilots are very, very interested in what I do as a houndsman, and I very much appreciate that perspective of them wanting to learn exactly what I'm doing,
Right.
because I can tell when those gentlemen are curious about why I may be in the field even before them. If a drone operator is not in tune with what if they're not into the deer world as deep as some of us are, they're going to have a lot more questions. So them running with a houndsman who has been out there is even more vital for them. And then you got guys like Dallas, who's heavily seasoned and simply knows that sometimes he needs me and sometimes I need him, period. The drone dog team is the absolute beans. There's nothing that can beat it. I personally think states should be running as fast as they could in that direction, providing their hunting community with the absolute best possible answer. That's what I think
Yeah.
is the responsible thing to do.
Well, see,
Let's
we know.
help the hunting public, the hunter.
Yes. We know in Ohio, if the drone's in the air, the dog's got to be at the truck. And if the dog's in the field, drone's got to be on the ground. But in West Virginia, the guy that wrote that law made sure that wasn't that way. You can have dog and drone in the field at the same time working together. So I would think more states would move to that, although I'm hearing more and more every day, more and more states are wanting to restrict drones in different ways, which is fine as long as they don't start stepping on that recovery end.
Yeah, I mean, from the drone aspect, I tell you what, like, I don't even know how many times I could tell you, like, I haven't had like a really great relationship that of the dog guy that I could call before. This is the first year working with John because I reached out to John and Shon and I was like, hey, this is a situation. Like, drone pilots need a really good dog guy in their pocket. Like, that's just a long and short of it. I don't care what anybody says, they got to work together because
Yeah.
early season, and there's times when if a deer doesn't go where you typically think it could go, I mean, just having the dog on the ground would take so many hours off of a drone flight. Like it's mind numbing the amount of hours I spent gridding when if I had a dog on the ground going in a certain direction. Now, granted, the deer could do a 90 or whatever, but in general, I mean, it would cut so much time out. And that's where a dog and drone team is invaluable. Dogs are phenomenal. They got amazing noses, and I mean, they'll a lot of cases they're going to get there. I mean, if it's a short track, they're definitely going to get there before the drone sometimes. And The drone is just a tool. It's not the see all be all. It is a phenomenal tool in the right hands when it's used correctly.
Right.
But they got to work together, and that's where I'm excited about this year. It's going to be some awesome content and some good opportunities this year. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait to see it. If you're tuning in a
We're going
little
to
late,
travel too. We're going to be available.
well, we're going to make sure you get out there. Yeah. If you're tuning in late this evening, I have Dallas Fuhrman from Nighthawk Drone Services up in Gettysburg, PA, on as a guest. Dallas is a accomplished drone pilot, and we appreciate him coming on. John Hockaday, Bloodline Trackers, Longspur. We appreciate John coming on. If you have any questions for this duo, I suggest jumping on our chat line, and we'll throw it on up on the screen if you have any specific questions. I'm going to ask him a few more, but we'll probably go another 10 minutes or so unless you guys have some specific questions from out there in the audience. One of the ones I loved here, one of our upcoming guests on the end of August, Justin Stanton, right here in Buchanan, one of the things he said was, if I don't see that deer fall, I'm calling Shon, which he does. We've done some drone flights. We've done some dog tracking, and he's within a side-by-side ride here of headquarters. So we appreciate that, Justin. And like I mentioned, we have a lot of hunters out there that do that for all of us. I know probably, John, you probably got some guys that call you every year, no matter what.
Yes, absolutely. We're getting ready to go to work this week. I got some buddies coming down the road, and they're going to be filling some deer tags down the street. We'll be putting the dog on the ground,
There you go.
getting it warmed up. That's how we get them fired up.
This is an interesting one. We had Jeremiah say, I really wish I could watch my lion hounds with a drone. Dallas, I talked with Kirk Price, who's a big YouTuber here in Boone County, West Virginia, and he even asked West Virginia DNR if he was just using a collar camera to film content with his drone of his bear dogs chasing a bear. And they said, no way, no how, don't even ask. That's hunting with a drone. I mean, what are some of your feelings on that? Content creation, where's that fine line? I mean, we can have that little bit of a discussion here.
If that ain't a hot topic.
I guess if you're only Hollywood and you pay for it, I don't know. I guess you got to be from Hollywood. You got to have all that going for you.
Yeah, get that film permit.
It's I don't know. Yeah. You're not going to stop a dishonest hunter. You're not going to stop a dishonest hunter.
No.
Yeah. You ever talk to a 60-year-old poacher? Somebody that's honest. Watch that show about that fella down there in Texas. You think he was going to take that out of his blood?
Oh yeah.
If people's going to be dishonest in how they kill a buck, it's going to be artificial light. They'll throw grenades at it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's why we got law enforcement for that.
Yeah. I mean, do you think the drone for hunting epidemic is as bad as they make it out to be, or is it just a few of these high-profile cases, Dallas? I mean,
No, it's bad.
What were you saying, John?
I say it's bad.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Way worse than they could ever dream.
The problem is it's when some of these cases that came out, it goes back to greed.
yeah.
Like they see this tool and they see what all could be, and they're just thinking about themselves.
Right.
And it's sad. I mean, it's a phenomenal tool, but it's just like a gun. You put it in the wrong hands, bad things are going to happen. And you ain't going to stop it. Like you can put all the regulations in the world, the bad guys are going to do bad things. Sadly.
That's right.
And the regulations, as long as they're good, sensible regulations that benefit the hunting community, it makes sense. But no, nobody wants to go out there and fly the drone before the morning hunt. That's not hunting. And then go back, land it, and go hunting. That's not what this is about. This is about recovery of the animal, bringing it home. Not going out scouting, then going out and hunting, or doing it, heaven forbid, doing it while the drone's in the air. But both of those things, we got to get as far away from that as possible. This is about recovery. There is some states that take like say Alaska, you can't fly and hunt the same day. That's a
Right.
pretty good idea. Like you got 24 hours or the next day, depending on how they word it or how they phrase it. That's not a
Right.
bad idea if that's what some regulations got to do. Um, but no matter what regulations you do, you're always going to have those bad apples.
Right. Exactly. And I just watched a YouTube video with Mike Yoder there in it, and he was talking about those boys that just got caught in Ohio. I guess every deer they had shot in the last 10 years was illegal, and they were passing them
Crazy.
off
Ooh.
as all legal kills. But Mike had that same view, and I do too. And we wrote that into the West Virginia law, and the legislature dropped it out. Was the next day, wait till the next sunrise before you could hunt again on property flown by a drone. And I just think it makes common sense. I mean, if you're going to put a drone in the air, that's shut hunting down on that piece of property. Like you said, Alaska has that, some western states. Yeah.
I
Just
mean, the drones aren't killing animals,
no.
but the drones aren't the part where you locate the wounded deer with the drone and then you can't pursue it. I think that's too much. That's misplaced maybe. I don't know, but and that's not the answer. I like Dallas's idea where they can check the drone flight time, and if you flew it this morning and you killed a deer 6 hours later, there might be a problem. Like there's ways to check that. But when it comes to laws and different things, I think what we forget to do is to step back and say, how hard is this to manage?
Right.
So in other words, are we getting back to a point to where only the wealthy man is allowed to use the drone to hunt? I mean, if you own 600 or 700 acres and it's gated, there's no DNR officer coming up there to check whether you have integrity or not. That's not going to happen. You're going to be able to go do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and it's going to get tighter.
Unchecked.
Yeah, it's going to get tighter in the future as they remove the open fields doctrine in most of these states. I know Pennsylvania just had a ruling there, and there you go. I mean, if it's posted, a DNR officer has to have a warrant in PA now. If that land's clearly posted, I mean, like John said, you take 1,000 acres and you don't have a warrant, you're going to have to do some heavy police work to figure out what's going on that property. Yeah.
The amount of resources and time and money it would take to catch that one person killing one buck off of his land would be crazy. And not only that, it'd be immense. And then you need that ninefold over the whole county to prove every story that you were told. I mean, I feel for the DNR officers.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you do, because they're asked to manage things that are nearly unmanageable.
I got Jordan Hubler up there in towards Harrisburg, PA, said them Yog Terriers will outrun any drone. That's a good one.
What's up, Jordan?
I did want to.
Hey, my thing is nobody pets your drone, Dallas. Nobody wants to pet your drone.
Yeah, nobody does. It's not cool. But I do find a lot of lost pets. I tell you what, they want to pet the drone after I bring their dog home. Let me
There
tell you
you
what.
go. Hey, tell us a little bit about that, Dallas. I mean, that's one thing we, here at Longspur, we've really gotten into too, is helping with the lost pet recovery. I mean, that's a feature of the drone. I mean, you're a big help there to the public.
Oh, it's life changing for a lot of people. I mean, it's blowing up. I mean, that's the majority of what I do. I mean, even during hunting season, I mean, it's crazy the amount of calls for lost pets.
Right.
I mean, because the drone is insane when it comes to locating these pets. If you have a recent sighting, or even if you didn't have a recent sighting, I found a cat that wasn't seen for an entire month.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's how good the technology is. You can fly and grid huge amounts of area and bring these dogs home. And if they don't want to, if they're in flight mode, you can provide overwatch and see where they're hanging out and then deploy a trap, or you can navigate the owner right to them, use calming signals to, whether it's a dog. I mean, just totally just bring the dog's temperament down and they can walk right to them, or the dog comes running. I mean, it's wild. I mean, there's a lot of video. I have so much content. I didn't get it all out yet, but some of the rescues, I mean, people are crying. I mean, it's life changing for people. These people love their pets. I mean, just think if Tigger was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, you imagine like what you would go through to get them back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Would you come for free?
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
and I wanted
Will
to
you
touch
come
on.
for free to help find my expensive dog, please?
Yeah,
I
I
got
threw
you.
I threw our link up there for our. And one of the features on our app is pet recovery. You can put in a pet recovery request and get a hold of a drone pilot or an approved SAR team. Since we started the pet recovery side the 1st of July, we've had 21 pet recovery requests put in on the Longspur app. So that's something we're kind of proud of. We're working on that. I know there's other people in the industry out there working on pet recovery, and I'm sure you haven't seen the last of some of the pet recovery apps and stuff coming
Yeah.
out there in the future. So
Yeah.
I wanted to put this up there. Leonard Gums out of Wisconsin. He said, in Wisconsin, you can use a drone to scout your property, but you cannot hunt it until the next day. So, it sounds like Wisconsin has something similar to Virginia. Virginia has that law. If you fly a drone, you're done till the next day. Justin Stanton, once again, he said one of the reasons he likes calling us is because he doesn't want to run the risk of running any animal off his property, which I know Justin puts a lot of time and effort into his property. I understand that. Leonard, once again, he said, all webinar guys, thanks to all of you for taking the time to chat and pass on your info. Drone dog recovery team here in Wisconsin. So we appreciate all of you guys watching
Thank you.
out there. You guys have anything you want to say closing out here this evening? Anything you need to bring up?
Bring up? No? Oh, no. What about you, Dallas? What do you got? Where are we going to be lurking? All over Maryland and West Virginia?
Yeah, we'll be all over Maryland, that's for sure. No, I'm excited. I'm just excited for
Yeah.
this fall and the opportunity to create some content not many people have seen. And I mean, there's going to be a lot of people it's going to be pretty wild to see the Tigger show come to town, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah. I can't wait to see
I'm
that
bringing the
myself.
Tigger show to Gettysburg. I got to recover some deer in that Gettysburg area.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Uh-huh.
I really
That's right.
appreciate Dallas Fuhrman with Nighthawk Drone Services and John Hockaday with Bloodline Trackers and Longspur. You'll see those guys lurking around on our Facebook page. We're going to share their links and stuff. We really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Now, I just want to give you a kind of an update of what's coming up here in the near future. Next Wednesday evening, we're going to have Walt Allen and Jared McKinney, two master trackers in the Longspur system that run our Ohio division. They're going to be coming on and talking about tracking Ohio. That should be an interesting show because Ohio is its own beast. And when people start saying, trying to tell us that we don't know what we're talking about when we're talking about Ohio, I know they've never been there and seen the competition goes on there. The week after that, the next Wednesday, the 19th, we're going to have Josh Duncan on. Josh Duncan is the gentleman that bought the General sheds. He just released episode 2 of his documentary Antler Craze. I got to get up to the house and watch that thing. And that way I can let him know how it's going and I can talk with him about that. Josh was kind enough to let the Longspur crew tour around with the General, one of his replicas this spring, and we appreciated that. We're going to talk about shed collecting, the dark side of shed collecting, and what's going on in the deer world, and what his future plans are with the General. And then to close August out, we'll have Justin Stanton on. And Justin's a local hunter here, but man, does he manage his properties, and he's killed some nice local bucks. And that's one of the guys I look for. I respect these guys that get out there and kill the biggest bucks in their areas year after year after year. Whether that's, if the biggest buck in their area is a 130, that's awesome. But Justin kills some nice ones every year. Can't wait to talk to him. Also be watching here in the near future. We got a couple things going on. August 22nd, that's a Saturday. We're going to be trying to go live from a sports shop opening in Marmet, West Virginia. Be watching our Facebook Facebook for that. Also, we're going to have a Monday night episode here sometime in August. We're going to have Roger Perry with PNR Whitetail Supreme and his sidekick Tim Rowe on to talk deer nutrition going into the fall. So we're getting inundated with people wanting to come on. So we may be adding a second night, I don't know, or at least doing some special Monday night episodes so we can fit everybody in. But other than that, I appreciate you two guys this evening. I think that was a great show.
I got one more food for thought.
Sure.
There are only 3 states in the United States that require any state or outside or state level credentials to track. That would be New York, New Jersey, and West Virginia. In West Virginia, their credentials are the outfitter license, which ensures that man is a woodsman most of the time. So that's their angle. And August 15th, Bedford Valley, Bedford Fairgrounds, the Bandy Heroes Outdoors has their big outdoors bash. It's $20 at the gate. And what a great time. So I'm going to go ahead and plug my favorite veteran nonprofit organization, the Bandy Heroes Outdoors. August 15th. Good time.
Okay.
Come check it out.
That's awesome. Dallas, you got any last words here?
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Looking forward to some exciting tracks and recoveries this fall, and who knows what all we have in store. We're here to serve the hunting community and to bring them home and to make some memories.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on this evening. We're going to be signing off here in just a minute.
Next time.
Yeah, thank you for watching Longspurs Beyond the Holler. I am Shon Butler, the owner of Longspur, and I think we had a great show this evening. Thank you for tuning in.